Alabama travels to Death Valley. They play LSU in their annual showdown. Alabama 2.5 point favorites on the road against LSU. What a scary slash interesting slash maybe unexpected line for a lot of people. Maybe a lot of people thought LSU would be favored in this football game. The reality is, though, like Alabama's still a talented football team, right? They've found ways to get after the quarterback, in the form of LT Overton, which, by the way, what a hit, all right, for Alabama.
I think
Getting a
Saban
guy
on
like
that one
him.
too. That was Saban getting that.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, I
committed.
think.
Him and Domani Jackson, two of the better defensive players, committed before Saban left.
Yeah. And you could thank Jimbo Fisher, DJ Durkin. You can thank all those guys.
Robinson, who's the Elijah Robinson, that developed him for a
Elijah
couple of
Robinson,
years.
you can thank Elijah Robinson. Yeah, so he's been just outstanding. And you knew that he had all the talent in the world to accomplish what he's been accomplishing. The issue is, like, he's going against an offensive line that's only allowed, 4 sacks all year? 2 of them against South Carolina, 2 of them against Texas A&M, 2 of the better pass rushes that you're going to see in not just the SEC, but in college football, right? Does Alabama have that level of pass rush to where they're able to get to Garrett Nussmeier and force the turnovers that South Carolina did, force the turnovers that Texas A&M did? I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. And Alabama's secondary has, been quite shaky this year. And Garrett Nussmeier has played really good football for a lot of this season. I'm looking at the UCLA game or USC game. It was just, late interception, not being able to convert on 4th downs. That kind of cost them in that game. In the South Carolina game, it was early interceptions, including one late one that, should have gone for 6, but whatever. And then against Texas A&M, it was just really nice adjustments by Mike Elko and Co to start getting those receivers' faces. But does Alabama have the talent in their secondary they probably have the talent, right? But are they going to be able to do it? I don't know, because Lord knows that LSU, who just got manhandled by Texas A&M in the ground game, Lord knows that Alabama's not able to run the football with their running backs consistently. So a lot of weight is put here on Jalen Milroe, which, by the way, is that's a lot, but that dude can do it, man. Jalen Milroe can win you football games, man.
He has been very up and down this year. And like you said, he can win you football games. Hint, hint, the Georgia game, but he's also been struggling. In that Tennessee game, he was awful. And in that Vanderbilt game, he had a couple turnovers. And in that South Carolina game, he had some turnovers. And like you were kind of starting to see a trend there since that first half of the Georgia game. It has been, inconsistent play here. Definitely concerning. I think the bye week helped Alabama more than it helped LSU. And I think part of that could be part of the reason why I do worry about, being on LSU here. I'll take him +3, and I actually feel pretty good about it. But I also hate going against Kalen DeBoer in big spots here. I hate going against Kalen DeBoer with time to prepare. To me, the question is like similar to the Georgia and Ole Miss game. Like a lot of these quarterbacks are going to get a lot of prop, and they should, the wide receivers and all that good stuff, and they deserve that. But can each team run the football consistently? Because they haven't all year. Alabama has been really disappointing in their run game. Jam Miller and Haynes, while their averages are okay, but in big spots when they needed them to, they have not been able to run the football. Same for LSU, man. I mean, against A&M, it was bad. It was bad, averaging, about less than 3 yards per carry on the ground for your running backs. But Bama, though, stopping the run, their defense, as much flack as their, passing game has gotten and their secondary has gotten, their rushing game, they're giving up they're 15th, 14th in the SEC in rushing yards per game defensively. That is not where you want to be. And if you're LSU team trying to find that identity, trying to maybe slow down guys like LT Overton, Quay Rousseau, Quindarius Robinson from Alabama off the edge there, if you can run the football consistently, put Nussmeier in good spots where he doesn't have to play hero ball, where we've seen him turn the football over, that to me is huge. Also, if you're Alabama going on the road here, to Death Valley, night game, running the football does wonders in quieting a crowd, because sacks and turnovers and big plays defensively can really get Death Valley going. I like LSU here to be able to do that. Like you said, the O-line has given him a lot of protection, Nussmeier, except in 2 games when the defensive lines were unbelievable. I like Alabama's defensive line, but I do think this LSU team can put enough points on the board to where Alabama just cannot keep up.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I said 2.5 earlier. We are picking this game at 3. I just realized after you said that. I'll take LSU plus 3. And I'll take them to win as well. I'm a little bit confused as to why, honestly, as to why Alabama's favored in this football game. I think the wrong team's favored, to be honest. I know from a power rating standpoint, yeah, Bama is probably better than LSU, but or they might be equal. I don't know. Just I like LSU in this spot, especially at home, man. So I'm with you. Give me LSU, and I'll eat up all of those points.
Can I ask you a question here in terms of coaches, or programs that are maybe a little bit more urgent and needs when the pressure is on, like the fallout of this game, right? Who needs this more? Obviously, I get the playoff implications and the losers probably eliminated and whatnot, but which coach, which program building themselves and trying to find an identity in this new SEC, right? Who needs it more?
I mean, people are putting a lot of pressure on Kalen DeBoer to like win every single freaking game. I don't think he needs to do that this year. Like he could win 9 games this year and be totally fine moving forward. And I know Bama fans aren't used to that, but think about 2010, the year after you won the national championship. You won 9 games.
Yeah.
You won 9 games with Julio Jones, Mark Ingram, Greg McElroy coming back for another season. I believe he's on that team.
Yeah, it was Kirkpatrick, Dante Hightower. You had a ton of talent on that defense too. Probably Bama's most
Tons.
talented team. Robert Lester was there. Not Marcus Mays. Well, Mays was there, but it was also Mark Barron.
Yeah. It just was an insanely talented team. You won 9 games, like coming off of a national championship. It's not the end of the world, Bama fans. If you win 9 games instead of 10 or 11, Kalen DeBoer is doing a fantastic job on the recruiting trails so far. He is a good coach. Okay, down consistency running the football is an issue, but I would imagine that future teams that Kalen DeBoer is building, he's not going to want that to be a problem. So I think he's good. He's good at identifying weaknesses, but he's also really good at leaning into strengths, right? So uh, I think this game he's going to put the ball in Jalen Monroe's hands a lot, and yeah, they're gonna try to get after Nussmeier. I don't know that they will be able to though. So like we both said, we're on LSU plus 3.
Well, and also real quick to add to that, remember Alabama's supposed to be offensive line coach and offensive coordinator are in the NFL now. Ryan Grubb and Scott Huff, like both those guys are supposed to come with DeBoer in that staff, and then all of a sudden, right, you kind of have to make a switch there and maybe don't get the guys that you really wanted, and you've maybe seen that come to fruition in October. But I think DeBoer after the bye, they can play good football. Regardless, though, I'm still on LSU.